go. There we go.
Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I wanted to share some tips to help you increase your chances of being able to catch very large or what we call bull redfish on artificial lures. Now these fish, they're big for a reason, you know, they got that big for a reason. They're pretty smart fish. At times they get highly pressured, so it's very tough to get these fish to hit an artificial lure, but there are some things that you can consider that will put the odds in your favor of actually catching these fish on artificials. So first is time of year. As we get into the late summer and into fall, those are prime times for very large redfish to start schooling up. You know, they start getting into their spawning mode, and when they start getting into spawning mode, they're going to start eating a lot. So with that being said, if you can find these fish schooled up and they're active, they're feeding, they're in that, you know, pre-spawn mode, that's going to increase your chances of actually hooking into these fish on artificial. Now another thing that you really want to take into consideration is low light conditions, whether it is, you know, the water clarity or just, you know, the sunlight. Early morning is when I recommend to go after these fish, first thing in the morning or later in the evening as that sun is going down. Again, low light conditions, because these fish won't rely too much on sight during those low light conditions. So if you put a lure in front of them that makes some noise, sound, vibration, there's a good chance you're going to hook into those fish. That's why you see a lot of guys use very big popping corks with very big paddle tails for these fish. And also, in addition to low light, you know, think about the water clarity. I actually prefer to go after these fish when the water is very murky or stirred up. Also, if these fish are, you know, schooled up and they're milling around, they're usually kicking up a lot of mud, so the water is going to be a little bit more dirtier wherever they're at. So that can also help you find those fish. You know, if you're going along an area and the water's really clear, if you come up to an area that just all of a sudden turns very muddy or murky, if there's no creek that's dumping out water, you know, if there's nothing that you can think of that would make that water dirty, there's a good chance there's a school of fish there, so be sure to check it out. And going back to water clarity, you know, if it's very clear water, that's when you definitely want to take advantage of the early morning bite or the late evening bite, or even on an overcast day, because that is going to reduce the amount of light in the water. If those fish can see what's going on, you know, they can see your lure, they can see you approaching, they're going to be turned off, as opposed to if the water's darker, whether it just be because of lack of sunlight, or if the water is actually murky, stirred up, and muddy, it's going to be a better shot for you to actually catch those fish on artificial. So I actually prefer to fish in pretty crummy conditions, you know, if it's a little windy out, and also if the water's dirty, which you're going to see here in this footage coming up. And also with the water clarity, you know, you need to use lures that have noise, have vibration, and also go a little bit bigger on your lures, because these fish are going after bigger baits. You know, they're in pre-spawn mode and they want to eat. So the lure that I'm going to have in this video that you're going to see is the 5-inch Z-Man Scented Paddler Z in the Slam Shady color, and I have it rigged on a 5/0 1/4-ounce Mustad grip pin, and I'll show you how I rig this up here in the video. These are the Scented Paddler Z Slam Shady color, 5-inch. I have these rigged up on a, I believe this is a 5/0 1/4-ounce Mustad grip pin. These work really well for these baits because of the bait's elasticity. Put it on, slides right over that weight, like so. And that keeper right there keeps it on there. Then you just rig it up like you normally would. So we're out here on some bull reds, putting this 5-inch bait to the test. There we go. That's what we came for. Full on artificial. Look at him right here. If you are new to Salt Strong, we are the largest online fishing club for saltwater anglers, and we guarantee you two things. Number one, you'll start catching more fish in less time. And number two, you will save a ton of money on your favorite tackle and gear with discounts available exclusively for our members. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com and we'll see you there.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live Salt Strong and wear the line today.